Democrat Congressman from California, Khanna, joins us right now. Real pleasure to have you.
Steve, great to see you.
What happened to that party? Where'd that party go?
Well, look, we have a challenge, but the last time we were this low was 1991, and then we had Bill Clinton. Right. So there's an opportunity to come back. I think we've got to do two things. We need a compelling economic vision, right, a vision about how we're going to become a manufacturing superpower. We need common sense on immigration and crime. But I think there's a new generation of Democrats, right, who can do that.
See, you just said something important. You said common sense on immigration.
Yeah.
And with the Joe Biden administration, did it make sense that they let 10, 12 million people in?
No. I mean, no one can defend that. Look, I'm the son of immigrants. Mm-hmm. We're a nation of immigrants. We're also a nation of laws. Right. And my parents talked, I was born in America. They said, you won the lottery. Go study about the country. Make sure you make good grades. Work hard. That's the story of most immigrants. So we need to celebrate that, but we also need to have a secure border.
So this new poll we're quoting said a majority of Democrats say the leaders should do more to stand up to Donald Trump.
Right.
To do that, you need a cogent message, right, and messenger. Do you think, for instance, in the Senate, do you think Chuck Schumer is the right guy for them? Because he caved and went over and worked with the Republicans.
Well, I disagreed with his decision there. And the reason is because he didn't get any concessions. Right. I mean, we should have gotten a concession to say stop shutting down the Social Security offices, stop firing the veterans. He didn't get any concessions. You have to have a negotiation, negotiate, but get some concessions.
Well, what do you think he was doing? I mean, ultimately, he's had to cancel his book tour, right, because people are so hacked off at him.
I think he was operating. He wants to keep government open. We all do. But you got to have bring Trump to the negotiating table. And the base is very unhappy. Now, look, he still has the support of his colleagues. They don't want a House member to tell them who to pick as a Senate leader. So they're going to make their decisions. But he has to answer to a lot of people in the base.
Listen, you even said you need a new leader. I've been reading a lot about AOC. Maybe she's the future for your party.
Well, there's certainly people in at the retreat who are talking about her running for the Senate in New York. That's something that she will have to decide. But there are a lot of great leaders in the party. I mean, you've got Andy Beshear, you've got Josh Shapiro, you've got Gretchen Whitmer. What I think we need to do is have a compelling economic message. We need to understand manufacturing was hollowed out in this country. People lost jobs to China, to Mexico. Right. How are we actually going to bring them back? It's not just having blanket tariffs. We need government purchase agreements for new industry. We need to get technology in Silicon Valley into every community around this country. We need financing of new steel and chips. Democrats need to offer a real economic vision.
Well, that is all good and true, but at the same time, you look at what Donald Trump is doing, and you know his ratings right now are higher than they were at any point in his previous administration because people, look, he ran, you may not agree with what he ran on, but he's, essentially saying, okay, I told you I was going to work on the border, I'm going to work on all this stuff, and that's what he's doing.
Steve, he had a lot of momentum coming in, and his inaugural, he had a lot of momentum. And then he signed all these executive orders. I'll tell you where he's weak. For the first time ever, even including his first term, his numbers have declined on the economy. People always trust him on the economy. And the problem is not that he's had tariffs on steel or aluminum. The problem is one day he announces tariffs on everything in Mexico. The other day they're off. Then sometimes he's doing Canada. And it's led to lower consumer confidence, the higher unemployment, and people are concerned on the economy. That, to me, is what decides elections.
Well, I have heard him say recently, he said, look, people are talking about the economy. I'm working on it. He said, I just got here.
That's fine, but consumer confidence has fallen in March. It's the lowest it's been since 2022. And I don't want that to happen. I just hope he would pick a path and be clear about it. But this idea of, fine, tariff steel, that's working, actually. I was talking to Cleveland Cliffs. Steel is going to come back because the price of steel in China has gone up. But why do you have blanket tariffs on allies? That is causing massive uncertainty.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What is the best thing Democrats can put forward in the future? And what's the number one thing that you go, oh, why'd we do that?
So economic patriotism, that's what I'm about.
Okay.
We need to have a vision that actually is going to create good-paying, high-paying jobs in every community in this country that was deindustrialized. One of the biggest things, well, I don't know why we didn't stand up for the boy with cancer at the State of the Union. I stood up.
Did you have one of those little signs? Were you holding
I did not. I did not. You know, I think there's got to be basic respect for certain traditions and some degree of civility. And I just don't think, argue the facts. And by the way, we should come on more shows where we may disagree.
Our door is always open. We've got a great big door.
You don't bite. You don't bite. You know, I think you got to mix it up. And you know, the reality is there are Republicans who watch, there are independents, there are Democrats. I just think we've got to be willing to say we're willing to joust. We're willing to have argument. We're willing to articulate our vision and be challenged.
All right. Ro, real
Good to
pleasure.
see you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.